Hi, my name is Heather Palacios. Um, I'm just going to try to make this as quick as I can. I apologize for the length of this if it's too long, but I have a good bit to say. Um, I'm going to start by saying that I live in Western Maryland. I have been trying to get my Maryland state driver's license reinstated for years now. Um, I lost it due to a car accident in 2013, and I wasn't at fault for this, but it's not even the accident that I'm being charged for. It's the wrong accident completely. Um, I guess I'll go start by explaining my accident, which was on Interstate 81 South. I was headed down to Southern Virginia. I was right outside of Winchester whenever I was rear-ended by a utility truck. But how that started, it was heavy traffic. It was late. It was almost dark, and um, I was hit from behind by a utility truck. I was trying to switch lanes to get away from him because he was aggressively like tailgating me. So I was trying to switch lanes and didn't get that far. I got a couple inches over and he hit me. I guess he moved up too quickly and thought I was going to be out of the way and didn't have good judgment on that because he hit me. So when he did, the Mack truck in front, the Mack truck in front of me slammed his brakes for some reason. I remember that clearly, and it just was a domino effect of a car pileup. I mean, there was probably, I'd say, maybe 5 or more cars behind the one that hit me, and just piled up. We were just all piled up in a row, and I have permanent damage in my right hand and my left knee from it, and I had 29 stitches in my hand and nerve damage ever since. My left knee, I still have appointments to get it fixed. Like it's just been ongoing for years, and I still haven't had much success with the scar tissue and the numbness in my knee and the pain. So basically, that accident is not anywhere on record that I can find, and I didn't find out until 2 years later that there's a whole other accident on file that I'm at fault for. I didn't find out because I never received the mail to go to a court date regarding this whole accident that they're talking about. The reason being, my address was so wrong in the system that it was just a mess. I went to get a duplicate driver's license in 2015, in fall of 2015, so that I could have a license. I mean, I needed one in my wallet then at that point to go to work. I had just gotten a job offer and accepted it and was going back to work. So it was a really good job too. So I wanted to, make sure everything was in order. And that day at the MVA, I found out that things were completely out of order. I didn't even have a license. It had been suspended, and they gave me a number to call for Virginia, the DMV, and they told me that I had several violations and owed a sufficient amount of money, and they gave me numbers to call to courthouses and things like that. And there was a debt attorney law firm number on the list, and I was just so confused. But then I found out that I was being blamed for this whole different accident, which I don't know if I said it. My real accident was on 81 South. This accident that I'm being blamed for is on 81 North. But because my address, they had it listed as, and I have evidence of all of this, legitimate legal evidence. It says right here, I mean, any attorney that needs to see, I have evidence to pursue all of this. It says here that I was on Dawson Creek Road in Rawlings, Maryland. That was my address according to the Virginia DMV until I changed it. My address is Dawson Cemetery Road in Rawlings, Maryland, Rawlings, not Dawson Creek Road in Rawlings, Rollings. That was horribly wrong, and I didn't get the mail in time to defend myself at all. I had no way to defend myself. So I'm stuck with apparently, at that point, and not being able to get an attorney, I thought I was pretty much stuck on paying this stuff until I could pursue this at a later time. I just needed to get my license so I could get to and from work. So I just figured I'd start paying on it and deal with it later. But I started to uncover that once I started to see things weren't right. I mean, it was so wrong, other than that it was ridiculous. And the law firm, they were the only ones that would send me a copy of the report, was the debt law firm that was against me in the case. And they had it all whited out and it was a mess. I didn't get a clear copy until 2018, but I could see clearly enough the scenario was completely wrong, and the road was wrong, everything was wrong. They have it in the crash report that I was on 81 North, and I have all the documents that state this here as well, to all the original documents too. It says that I struck a vehicle and caused them, which this is the vehicle that I have the debt with, this vehicle here. It says that I struck him and made him go into another vehicle and T-bone it, and they went off to the side of the road. And then separately, I went on after I hit them and I smashed into a Mack truck. That's the worst thing. I mean, like, that blew my mind, because I would remember something like that. That was horrible to say that I did something like that. That I would remember that. That's bad. So, totally different side of the road. Everything's completely wrong. But anyway, I had to go and decide to pay that. I had no choice. So I started to pay on it and ended up having to pay over $2,000 just to get my license back. And that was all the money I had for a car from work. So I had no vehicle then to get to work. So, and I had this insane insurance that Virginia made me obtain just to get it back. Another thing, after all the fines and fees and the law firm and all that was paid, $190 a month insurance just to have a license, not even with a car, just to have the right to have my license. It was FR50 insurance, I believe. I had that to pay. It was so much just to get it back, and I just didn't have enough for a car to continue working. I couldn't expect my dad to drive 25 miles to work and 25 miles back 5 days a week. It wasn't working out, so I lost that job. So it was all for nothing, and it was bad. And I got even more depressed after that, and there was a lot going on also along the side of that, so it completely destroyed me. I was already depressed enough as it was, because right before the accident I was going through a divorce, and my landlord had seized all of my property and stole it and started selling my stuff, and so I lost everything, my car, my ex-husband, all of it gone. And then on top of that, other stuff going on, and then not even being able to work once I was able to. It was all really bad, and it's been bad ever since. But that was I felt lost until I started to uncover some more evidence. That, of course, being wrong, and the address being wrong. There's another date in question. Other than the one, I have another piece of paperwork that states the date of the accident was the 17th of June, when this one they're saying I did that I didn't was the 18th. Then I went to court in for yet another fine in it was November of 2018, November 26, 2018. But there was a document prepared in October and mailed to me, and it was mailed to the court. Everyone got a copy from the plaintiff, the Attorney General Assistant. Okay. It says that it gives a new scenario, is what it's describing what I owe the money for still. Even though beforehand it was supposed to have already been paid as far as that courthouse was concerned. But then the same courthouse has some new fines to bring up. This is where they messed up and completely blasted it open for me to sue them. Because beforehand, I really just had older evidence from prior to dates that you have 2 years to sue from that time, I had nothing new enough to do anything about until just recently when I seen this, just a month and a half ago. I saw this error, which I didn't even see it then. I wish I would have. I would have done something about it way sooner. But I just seen this in December, and it says the same person that I struck is the only thing the same. It says that at a location a half a mile south of Route 11, I lost control of the vehicle I was operating, rear-ending the vehicle driven by this person, causing him to careen off the road and strike a nearby guardrail, and that my failure to maintain control of the vehicle that I operated constituted negligence, breaching my aforementioned duty. That's the end of the accident there. That one just says that on 81 South, close to Route 11, I rear-ended him and knocked him into a guardrail. And then it goes on to state that I owe a fine for the damages of the guardrail and to VDOT, Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles, Virginia Department of Transportation, my apologies. So it says that I owe them that amount for that, which was $537 and some odd cents, which I have a receipt for. But anyway, the judge then said that day in court when we went for that once I paid that, the case was fully closed, dismissed, and then the Attorney General went on to tell me and my father both that once that's paid, which I offered to pay immediately because I wanted it over with, even though I told them I was not admitting my guilt because I had nothing to do with that accident. Had I seen that was there and that it stated in those terms, a whole different accident, because now we're talking 3 different accident scenarios, mine and the 2 that they're stating for the same case. So, anyway, I was told I was to have my license back at that point once I paid that, and that I would then be owed money. I was told this also. I would be owed all the money back from the law firm, that $1,600. They would then owe back to me because the case was closed and thrown out. That's what I was told. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to pay this and get my license back finally. This is finally over. Here I am still, a year and a half later, almost a year and a half, trying to get my license back. I've spoken to the judge. Once I brought that to their attention about this recent error that I found, they have been more compliant than ever. They actually are trying to contact me, I think, just to get me off their case a little. The judge spoke to me for a good, I'd say, 15 minutes on the phone almost, which is unheard of, and explained to me that I need to go find out why this debt law firm is still trying to pursue the amount, and I need to go from a different angle because it's not them that has the problem. The case is closed as far as they're concerned. This law firm, I told them what the judge had said, or what the Attorney General Assistant said about me owing them, in fact, owing me, and they said, no, you don't owe, we don't owe you, you owe us $42,000. It was like, it's stated over here, $42,057. So it was $6,000, and now it's went all the way up to that amount. The judge says that's absolutely impossible, even with interest, and that there's something very wrong with them, and that they need to fix it, and that I need to get an attorney to do so. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I want all this fixed, and I want compensated for all the years of loss that I've had, and I don't, at this point, care who compensates me, as long as it's someone that needs to be held liable. Whoever started this, whoever made the mistake, should be the one to pay. Or, they all know. They've all been told. They have all been shown that this is not my accident. They've been shown all the evidence I have against them. Everything. I've offered the lie detector thing, a lie detector. Everything I could to try to get this fixed. I've been as nice as I could be. It's not working, so now I want to pursue this and countersue. Thank you.